thought we could do something fun by kicking this video off with going through my Facebook feed and checking to see how much like AI garbage and how much fake news is on there.
Who the hell is this? Another star player wants to be moved? No foundation for that. Rod Brind'Amour drops a bomb to reporters on his goaltending plans for Game 4. I don't think that he announced anything, but it actually does look like Bussy is going to be playing. Canadiens could lose key trio in draft shakeup. Again, just completely made up. Kent Hughes could make a game-changing acquisition. I would do anything to get him. Kent Hughes urged to make bold Canadiens acquisition. I mean, this is true all of the time. Is this a quote from him? That's definitely not a quote from him. Explosive development. During a surprise press conference, Montreal Canadiens president of hockey operations Jeff Gordon stunned the entire NHL by publicly revealing a record-breaking offer to acquire captain Dylan Larkin. Didn't happen, obviously. We are prepared to offer Dylan Larkin an 8-year contract worth $92 million, an average annual salary of $11.5 million, along with numerous special privileges and the role of long-term team captain. He's already on a contract for 4 more years. The press room fell silent for a moment before erupting in disbelief. Dathan Thigpen, if that is your real name, I believe you are using artificial intelligence to create your posts. Oilers have reportedly hired a new coach, and Connor McDavid's reaction says it all. No, nothing. This is completely false. Mike Babcock returning to the NHL. They are so screwed. Returning. Kimberly Latrice Jones drops an absolute bombshell about Nick Suzuki. If he leaves, I'll leave too. Just days after Brendan Gallagher emotionally announced his moving on after 14 years with the Montreal Canadiens, Captain Nick Suzuki shook the hockey world by suddenly speaking out forcefully during an exclusive interview, revealing internal issues within the team that allegedly pushed him to consider leaving as well. The moment that followed immediately set social media on fire. Suzuki delivered a 15-word message directly to Gallagher and the fans, triggering a massive media explosion. Off. Brady Tkachuk just made a huge mistake involving Connor McDavid. Fans demand accountability. No punctuation here, so I don't really know what this means. Brady Tkachuk crossed the line against Connor McDavid. What happens next has the hockey world talking.
You ever want to talk about your emotions, Tian?
No.
I do. I know, David.
I'm sad.
I know, David.
Just 12 hours after contract termination, the 8-time All-Star speed demon with 500 career points wants to join the Canadiens on a $45 million deal? $45 million deal. I've always admired teams that embraced hard work.
Yeah, that describes the Leafs.
Physical hockey and a winning mentality. When you watch the Canadiens, you see a team that fights for every inch with toughness and precision and competes for championships. That's something every player respects. This image is so cursed. The GOAT grid, the greatest NHL player from every country. And then he's got this AI looking slot going on here. Look at Wayne Gretzky. It looks like a mix of Marty McSorley and Wayne Gretzky. Patrick Kane looks like Brendan Gallagher mixed with Patrick Kane, I guess. How much can somebody, 14,000 subscribers? Oh my gosh. People actually like engage with this garbage. Monique and Jocelyn Lamoureux, you might be the worst of all. I can't keep this silence anymore. It's not his fault. Excuse me, I can't keep silence anymore. It's not his fault! Exclamation point. Ellipses. In a shocking interview that shook the entire NHL community, Brendan Gallagher's wife spoke out for the first time about the decision to leave the team after more than a decade of loyalty. And the truth revealed is much different than any fans imagined. It wasn't because of performance, nor was it because of internal conflicts, and even less for a question of contract. Her voice trembling with emotion, she confided with difficulty, "He didn't leave because of hockey, he left because of me." This confession plunged the entire room into absolute silence, leaving those present in shock and raising countless questions in the minds of the supporters. The supporters!
Anyway, I thought I'd do a video check in with you guys. So let's talk about it.
A little tap there, I like it. That's engaged this year, but what the Penguins did.
I'm really starting to feel the burn of the Montreal Canadiens season being over. It's funny because I thought that this Vegas and Carolina series would be really boring, and it isn't. It isn't at all. It's an exciting series. But even still, I don't really look forward to the games until they're on. So I'm just kind of pacing back and forth, thinking about hockey, wishing that there would be news about hockey. That Dylan Larkin bombshell was pretty big, and now that they're talking about Mike Babcock returning to a coaching position with the Edmonton Oilers, that's kind of ruffled a few things up. And actually, as I'm doing this video currently, looks like Peter the Purple has joined with the LA Kings. The Kings have their new head coach. Ooh, and even more exciting news. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is being remade.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity. At the very edge of this kingdom, there lay a small forest.
I guess I have to buy a Nintendo Switch too. So I'm going to go over a few things, just touching base here. Before I do that, please, if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and we're continuing to grow, trying to hit 26,000 subscribers, and we're pretty close too. Can you help me get there? And here's a word from our sponsor. If you're into hockey cards, sports cards, or just collecting in general, you definitely need to check out Slab Sharks. They've got singles, slabs. Holy smokes, look at this one. Anybody got 70 G's to front me? Sealed products, memorabilia. So whether you're chasing a grail or casually doing damage to your wallet, they've got you covered. They've also got their own app, which makes it super easy to submit your own cards, watch your auctions, and track your sales from cards that aren't part of your PC and are just collecting dust. I can't believe the amount of Celebrini cards they have on here, and some that are going for like a steal of a deal. This one, for example, Horizontal Credentials rookie card. Current bid is only $8.50 Canadian. Very interesting. So if you want to support the channel, check out Slab Sharks using the link in the description below. Download the app and see what they've got. And if you got a ridiculous card to sell, tell me about it. If you want to help out in other ways, click that affiliate link below. It does help me demonstrate to Slab Sharks that this community is in fact a good demographic for them to tap into. So I wanted to start things off by talking about something we kind of left off on last time that I've changed my opinion on a little bit. I want to elaborate. And it was in terms of the trade targets for the 2C spot, and kind of touching on the Matthew Nyes trade non-trade thing. Marco D'Amico has returned from the NHL Combine. And they've done a couple of episodes of the Star and D'Amico show. And as often happens, they've helped me form my opinion about this a little bit better. We know now that Dylan Larkin has a 3-team trade list. That will likely expand. I think that Yzerman would look pretty weak if he decided to go with one of those teams in terms of what they could possibly get from those teams, unless there is a blockbuster deal just kind of waiting in there. But as I said in my video, I don't think that Larkin is the right target for Montreal regardless. And I don't think that his camp really wanted that trade list to get out. Because as a team that's not on that trade list, what are you thinking? Well, I wasn't his first, second, or third decision. Is he truly going to be happy with this organization? So to me, that is a dead end, and the Matthew Nyes thing is a dead end as well. There's no way that John Chayka is going to revisit that, especially now that Toronto has first overall. It would be one thing if he just sat on his hands and didn't do anything going into this season. But now that he's getting Gavin McKenna, let it roll. Let it roll with McKenna, with Easton Cowan. See where you're at. See where a new coach can bring you. That's another thing. Joe Pavelski apparently has interviewed for the role of coach in Toronto. I think that that's a really good fit. They're obviously kind of looking for the Martin St. Louis boost, but it's really great because Pavelski, he was in the NHL for a really long time and he never won a Stanley Cup. So he'd do great in Toronto. Just messing with you, Leafs fans. But thinking more about the Nyes trade that could have happened, it was smart. If you look at it as acquiring Nyes to insulate whatever center you have in the middle, yeah, it props them up. And does Montreal get further in the playoffs if they have Nyes? I'd say yeah. It's hard to say whether or not they'd go all the way. Hey, it's hockey. Bounces go in the different direction. It doesn't matter what kind of team you are. If the hockey gods aren't on your side, yeah, you're out of luck. But think about it. Matthew Nyes comes in now. Somehow they thread the needle. They're not having to trade Michael Hage in order to get Nyes. Michael Hage finishes his NCAA career with the mission that he needs to acclimate to being a player who can immediately move into a 2C role. And suddenly he's got Ivan Demidov and Matthew Nyes insulating him. I think that's the keys for success right there. But alas, it didn't happen. So in order for Hughes to hit a home run over the summer, he's got to find somebody who fits into that 2C role. And maybe Hage gets dealt because of it, because that's kind of his seat. Or do they look for a loaner, somebody that they have in the role for 1 or 2 years? It gets pretty complicated from there. The other thing is Nico Hischier. If they want to go all in on him, first, the New Jersey has to pass on him. It sounds like both camps want to keep him in New Jersey. It's just how far are they apart? And then Robert Thomas. So they barked up that tree. Unless St. Louis wants to come down, they're going to have to go for the same deal that they talked about at deadline. And that involves Hage. So last video I said that Hischier was probably my preference. Now I'm leaning a little bit more towards McTavish. Even if they end up paying more for him, even though his stock should be lower now than it was before, I think his timeline fits better. I think that his cap hit is perfect for the structure of this team. $7 million. He's in year 2 of 6. And he's only 23 years old. He still has room to grow. He's 6'1", 218 pounds. That's not a small guy. But like I said, I think that interest from other organizations will drive up his stock. Shoot, I wasn't able to finish this video in time, so now I'm back and the game has started. So I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. And I still wanted to talk about Mike Babcock. So a pretty successful coach, but also a pretty controversial coach. And if you're forgetful about exactly what this dude has been up to in the past, it's a lot of like psychological manipulation. There was the Toronto thing with Mitch Marner. During Marner's rookie season, he pressured the young guy into ratting on teammates who he thought had poor work ethic. Then what really bugs me is what happened with Johan Franzen, former Detroit Red Wing. He's been very vocal about how he thinks that Babcock is like the worst person ever. Franzen had multiple concussions. He had mental health problems, and allegedly Babcock was mentally abusive to him, and other players corroborate that story, I believe. And then the weird one with the phone. So Babcock started in Columbus. He wanted to get to know players, and the way that he did it was to ask them to look through pictures on their phones. It was meant to be like a team building exercise, I guess. Captain Boone Jenner said that there wasn't anything inappropriate about it, but the NHLPA investigated and Babcock resigned before coaching even a single game. And now the Oilers want to hire him as head coach. I understand, he's had success in the past. He's won a Stanley Cup. He's won 2 or 3 gold medals with Canada's Olympic teams. And many players had positive experiences with him. Although I think that that's what star players say about him. And like the bottom guys, they're the ones that have a difficult time with him. So to me, this smells like a desperation act by the Edmonton Oilers, going to the extreme, and maybe that distracts. Maybe Stan Bowman is taking a page out of politics and making some smokescreen. So some of his more profound decisions that affect the team negatively that won't get noticed as much. I'm really discouraged about Edmonton. I think that they've taken a left turn and they've burned one too many bridges. I think that they should have kept their bridges in pristine condition. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to jump over and watch that game. Hope you've been enjoying this Stanley Cup Finals series. I know it's not the teams that you want, but at least they're giving us entertaining hockey. You guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with search results or something like that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.